Hi, students. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah. So last class we have seen about reactions due to, we were discussing about reactions due to acidic nature of alpha hydrogens. And we know that the alpha hydrogens present in aldehydes and ketones are acidic in nature because they are attached to an electron withdrawing group. That is aldehyde group or keto group. We know that it is an electron withdrawing group. Okay. So the first reaction due to, and how we can tell that they are more acidic, because the anion formed is stabilized through resonance. So the name of the anion that is formed here is called as enolate. In plus all, because there is double bond as well as a OH group. So that's why it is called as enolate ion. Okay. Then the first reaction we have seen regarding this is aldol condensation, and we have seen different variations in aldol condensation. So what is the condition for any aldehyde or ketone to undergo aldol condensation? There must be alpha hydrogens first of all. So only those aldehydes or ketones containing alpha hydrogens will be undergoing aldol condensation. The reagent must always be a dilute alkali. Okay. And then when they react with dilute alkali, first you will get a beta hydroxyaldehyde, which is called as aldol. Then on heating in the presence of an acid, we get alpha beta unsaturated aldehyde or ketone as the product. That is aldol. So during aldol, two molecules of the same aldehyde will always be undergoing reaction. Next one we have seen is cross aldol. Cross aldol means between two different aldehydes or between two different ketones or between an aldehyde and an ketone. Again, we have seen two cases in that. First case, when both the compounds are containing alpha hydrogens, then we get a mixture of four products. And the other case, when one containing alpha hydrogens, other not containing alpha hydrogens, we will be getting only one product in very high yields. Okay. Then the third case we have seen intramolecular aldol condensation, when there are two aldehydic or ketonic groups or one aldehyde or one ketonic group in the same compound, and if they are present at 1,6 or 1,7 positions to get a stable ring, so it will be undergoing intramolecular aldol condensation. So that is what we discussed in the last class. So today we will be discussing about another reaction called as Kenizaro reaction. So again, I am telling for theory exam, from these two reactions, from aldol condensation and Kenizaro reaction, definitely one will be there either for 1 mark or 2 marks or for 3 marks from these two only. Okay, so those who are preparing for theory, please concentrate on this. Okay, for entrances also, it is a very important reactions. These two are very important reactions in the middle of the compound. When there are sequence of reactions, you will be getting that. So let us study the next reaction. That is Kenizaro reaction. Kenizaro reaction. First, let us write down what do you mean by this Kenizaro reaction. Aldehydes are ketones which do not contain. Generally, ketones will not be giving this test because ketones will be having the formula RC double bond O R dash. So definitely there will be alpha hydrogens in ketones. Okay, because if I take CH3, C double bond O CH3, no. To make alpha hydrogens not available in Kenizaro reaction, there must not be alpha hydrogens. In aldol, there must be alpha hydrogens. In Kenizaro, there must not be alpha hydrogens. Right. So even if I replace all these three hydrogens with three substituents, here also three hydrogens with three substituents, lot of steric hindrance will be there. Generally, such compounds will be highly unstable. So that's why generally ketones will not give this test. But in the options, no, just check whether any compound is having alpha hydrogens or not. So I am erasing this term ketones. So generally aldehydes, or to make it more clear, no, write it as carbonyl compounds. Okay. So carbonyl compounds which do not contain alpha hydrogens, in the presence of concentrated alkali, So in aldol condensation, it was dilute. Here it is concentrated alkali, or you can write as 50% alkali. 50% when it is concentrated, we call it as concentrated alkali. Right? In the presence of concentrated alkali or 50% alkali, undergo disproportionation. Undergo disproportionation, that is self-oxidation and reduction. That is self-oxidation and reduction. To give. So if I take aldehyde students, we are telling it is disproportionation. That is oxidation and reduction. When aldehydes undergo oxidation, what product will get? Tell me the answer. Aldehydes on oxidation, what product will get? Carboxylic, not reduction, oxidation. If it is reduction, we get alcohols. If it is oxidation, we get acids, no? Carboxylic acids. Okay. So to give salt of carboxylic acid. To give salt of carboxylic acid. This is the oxidized product. Oxidized product. And so on reduction, we get alcohols. And alcohols as reduced product. Alcohols as reduced product is known as Cannizzaro reaction. Is known as Cannizzaro reaction. Right on? Okay. So for Cannizzaro reaction, the aldehyde must not contain any alpha hydrogens. That is the first thing. So what must be the reagent? In the presence of a concentrated alkali as the reagent, products will be disproportionation products. So disproportionation means both oxidation as well as reduction. So one will be oxidized product. We know the aldehydes on oxidation, we get carboxylic acids. So it is in the presence of an alkali. So whenever there is an alkali student, you won't get acid. You will get salt of that acid because acid will again react with alkali. Okay. So one is salt of carboxylic acid. Other one is reduced product, alcohols. Okay. So it is called as Cannizzaro reaction. Let us see one example and mechanism. So let me take one example. So here also we need to take 2 moles of the aldehyde, right? So I'm taking 2 moles of formaldehyde. This is formaldehyde. Tell me friends, will formaldehyde undergo Cannizzaro reaction? Yes, it will be undergoing Cannizzaro reaction because it does not contain any alpha hydrogens. Will this undergo aldol condensation? No, it will not undergo aldol condensation. Okay. So this in the presence of, let us take concentrated NaOH, or let it be 50% NaOH. Anything it can be. Okay. Now what must be the product, students? One must be oxidized product, one must be reduced product. So out of the 2 aldehydes, one will be undergoing oxidation. So it is a compound containing 1 carbon atom. So we get the salt of 1 carbon atom containing acid, that is formic acid. HC double bond OH is formic acid. So this will be sodium formate. This is the salt of carboxylic acid, sodium formate. Plus what must be the other product? It must be alcohol. So how many carbon atoms are there? Only one carbon atom. So you need to get an alcohol containing one carbon atom. It is methanol. It is methanol. So these two will be the products. So one is oxidized product, other one is reduced product. Now let me explain the mechanism for this. Mechanism no need to remember again, right? For your information, mechanism. See here, students. Listen here. So this is formaldehyde. In the presence of base, NaOH, Na plus and OH minus. NaOH is the base. So this is the nucleophile which will be attacking the carbonyl carbon atom. 5 electrons will be polarized towards oxygen. So you'll get Hc O minus. O minus will be attacked by Na plus. O minus Na plus H and OH. H and OH. Okay. So this will be the intermediate form. See the next step. Very important step. To get acid, what must happen is this negative charge will be coming here, and there is one more mole of formaldehyde. So this negative charge will be coming here. This hydrogen along with the bonded pair of electrons. This hydrogen along with the bonded pair of electrons will go and attack this carbon atom, and the 5 electrons gets polarized towards oxygen. Now see here what happens. You will get H. See, as the negative charge is coming back, single bond gets converted to double bond. HC double bond O, OH. This bond is completely getting broken down. So with here one molecule will be formed, and the other molecule that will be formed is this hydrogen is going and attacking this carbon atom. So you get 1, 2 plus this hydrogen. 3 hydrogens, CH3, O minus. CH3, O minus. Then this. Let me write it in 2 ways. From formic acid on reaction with NaOH, because this is an acid, this will react with the base. So you'll get Hc double bond O minus Na plus. This is one product. This in the presence of water, because it is an alkali solution, no, there will be water. From water it will be taking H plus ions and it gets converted to CH. So this is how you are going to get the products. And this is how the mechanism is taking place. So even if you don't remember the mechanism, no one is going to ask you the mechanism in the exam. But one important point you need to remember from the mechanism. What is the point that you need to remember here is this step. So which is being transferred, students, here? Hydrogen along with the bonded pair of electrons means H minus, no? What is the name of H minus ion? Hydride ion, no? Hydride ion. So once they asked in JEE exam, students, which of the following reactions takes place through hydride transfer mechanism? Which of the following reactions takes place through hydride transfer mechanism? So the answer will be Cannizzaro reaction. Can you tell me any other reaction where we have discussed the hydride transfer mechanism? Tell me, students. Can you tell me some reactions where? Yes, very good. Very good. Hydride shift we studied, no? Where we studied about hydride shift, students? During which process? During Markovnikov rule. Anywhere where there is rearrangement of carbocations. Correct? Wherever the reaction takes place through the formation of carbocation and there is a chance of rearrangement to get a more stable carbocation by shifting hydrogen. So hydrogen will be shifted as H minus. Okay. So in JEE Advanced, they have asked this question. Which of the following reactions takes place through hydride transfer mechanism? So wherever one is Cannizzaro reaction, among the named reactions, we have only Cannizzaro reaction. Other one is wherever there is a formation of carbocation intermediate and wherever there is a chance of proton transfer, that is to get a stability, to get a more stable carbocation by hydride shift. So all those will be the answers. Multiple correct answer it was. So where you will be getting more than one correct answer. Okay, na? So that is point is very important regarding Cannizzaro reaction. So write down the mechanism. We'll make it in the form of a note. Okay. So here it is H minus shift. So this is very important. So let us make a note here. Cannizzaro reaction is an example of hydride shift. Hydride shift reaction. Completed. Yes. So let us see some more examples. So very simple. One will be salt of carboxylic acid. One will be alcohol. Those will be the products in Cannizzaro reaction. For example, if I take 2 moles of benzaldehyde in the presence of 50% KOH, in the presence of 50% KOH, what happens, students? So from here, this is benzaldehyde. So one will be salt of this. So there is a benzene ring and there is a carbon atom here. This is called as potassium benzoate. Because from benzaldehyde, you will be getting benzoic acid. So this is potassium benzoate. Potassium benzoate. Plus. So one more will be an alcohol. C6H5. C6H5. One more carbon atom is there. CH2OH. What is the name of this alcohol? On benzene ring CH2OH. Yes, it is benzyl alcohol. It is benzyl alcohol. Okay. So in that way you can write the product. One more example I'll give. So this will be converted to COO minus. And in the other way, this will be converted to CH2OH also. So be careful with the number of carbon atoms, students. Don't change the number of carbon atoms. It will be a wrong answer. Complete. So this is Kennesaw reaction, which is very simple. One will be oxidized product, one will be reduced product. And when there are 2 moles of the same reactant, no, then that is generally called self-Cannizzaro. Then in the same way we have crossed aldol, here we have crossed Cannizzaro also. Okay. So second variation in this is crossed Cannizzaro. For theory exam, no students, either they will ask the benzaldehyde or they will ask formaldehyde. Only these two. In aldol also, either they will ask acetaldehyde or they will ask acetone. Only these two. In Cannizzaro, either formaldehyde or benzaldehyde. Only these two they are going to ask in board exam if it comes. So please remember the products formed with these two reactions. Right? Next one is cross Cannizzaro. Cross Cannizzaro reaction. So what do you mean by cross Cannizzaro reaction? Cross aldol means 2 different types. Here also, when 2 different types of aldehydes are undergoing the reaction, it is called as cross Cannizzaro reaction. Now see here. For example, one is formaldehyde, one is benzaldehyde. So in this also no alpha hydrogens. In this also no alpha hydrogens. Correct, no students? Then in the presence of concentrated NaOH. Now previously both the compounds were similar compounds. So one was easily undergoing oxidation, one was easily undergoing reduction to give acid and alcohol as the products. But now there is a trick here. So both aldehydes are there. Then which will be undergoing oxidation, which will be undergoing reduction is the major point. Now think and tell me, students. In the first step, in the mechanism, whatever we have written, in the first step, what is happening? OH minus is coming and attacking the C double bond OH. So what type of reaction, students, it is? When OH minus is coming and adding to the compound. Nucleophilic addition or nucleophilic substitution? Nucleophilic addition, because OH is getting added. First step is a nucleophilic addition. Now, one is formaldehyde, one is benzaldehyde, students. Which do you think will be more reactive towards nucleophilic addition? Obviously, it must be formaldehyde because aliphatic aldehydes will be more reactive towards nucleophilic addition when compared to aromatic aldehydes. Aliphatic aldehydes will be more reactive when compared to aromatic aldehydes. So what is happening when OH minus is attacking the first step? From that molecule we are getting acid. No, just go through the mechanism. So for whichever the molecule OH minus is getting added, that molecule is only converting into acid. No, students, is this statement correct or wrong? That molecule is getting converting into acid, other molecule will be converting into alcohol. So which do you think among these two will be converted to acid? Obviously, it must be formaldehyde. So always remember this point. If there is formaldehyde in Cannizzaro reaction, always the formaldehyde is going to get oxidized, because that is the simplest aldehyde where there will be no inductive effect and where there will be very less steric factor. We know that these are the 2 factors which are going to affect nucleophilic addition, right? So the product form will be HCOO minus Na plus sodium formate. This will be converting into formic acid and this will be converting into alcohol. So this is sodium formate, one product, plus other product is alcohol from this C6H5CH2OH. This is called as benzyl alcohol. So make in the form of a note. Always formaldehyde during Cannizzaro reaction will be oxidized to sodium, to formate ion, to salt of formic acid, whatever it may. So if there is formic acid present, always formic acid is going to get oxidized to salt of formic acid. Other molecule will be undergoing reduction. So from the mechanism, we are making this note very important for entrance exams again. Okay, very important. If both are same, no problem. But if they are different, always formaldehyde will be giving formic acid. Completed. One more example. So one is aldehyde, benzaldehyde, one is substituted benzaldehyde, one is formaldehyde. So like these questions will come in the exam, students. First tell me, from this, will there be any reaction of OCH3 with this? This is an ether, no, ROR. There is ether group as well as aldehyde group. Which is going to react with consonant alkali? Ether or aldehyde? Ether is going to react. Ethers are acidic or basic or neutral? Ethers are acidic or basic or neutral? Ethers are acidic or basic or neutral? Neutral, no student, neutral. Did I mention anywhere that ethers are acidic in nature? No, because ether general formula is ROR. ROR. So these are just alkyl groups attached to oxygen. There is no hydrogen attached to oxygen. If hydrogen was attached to oxygen, it would be acidic. Okay, right? But there is no hydrogen attached to oxygen, it is carbon. So these are not acidic. Right? If it is not acidic, will it react with the base? No. So we know that only acids are going to react with the base. So there won't be any change of OCH. Like this only questions will come in the entrance exam, students. Not for NEET, for JEE or any higher level, KVPO, any exams if we take, there won't be only one functional group which is going to react. They will give many functional groups on the reactant. You need to identify how they are going to react. Right. So here there is ether and aldehyde. Immediately by seeing this, you should first identify whether ethers will react this or not. That means you should be knowing ether reactions carefully. This is a base. So you need to check whether ethers are acidic or not. Ethers are not acidic because they do not contain any hydrogen attached to electronegative atom. So not acidic. So ether is not going to react. So which is going to react? Only this aldehyde is going to react. Forget about this ether. Which will be converting into acid, which will be converting into aldehyde. So from this you will come to know that this is an Kennesaw reaction because this does not have any part in the reaction. Right. So this will be converting into salt of acid. This will be converting into alcohol. So the product will be HCOO minus K plus, and this will be OCH3 COCH2. So that's what I will be telling always. Whenever there is more than one functional group in the reactant, just check whether they are going to react with the given compound or not. Okay, na? So maximum in the exam there will be question between formaldehyde and benzaldehyde only. Okay. So formaldehyde always will be converting into acid. Benzaldehyde will always be converting into alcohol. Okay, na? This is called as cross Cannizzaro reaction. Then the third type of reaction is intramolecular Cannizzaro reaction. Intramolecular Cannizzaro reaction. Intramolecular Cannizzaro reaction. So what do you mean by intramolecule? Intramolecular Cannizzaro reaction means within the molecule the reaction has to take place. Within the molecule the reaction has to take place. That means there must be two CHO groups within the molecule, right? Like this. Like this. Now, in the presence of concentrated NaOH, so immediately after seeing this, no, you must be identifying that. So this is an aldehyde group not containing any alpha hydrogens. This is an aldehyde group not containing any alpha hydrogens. In the presence of concentrated alkali, so it is an Cannizzaro reaction. You must identify that it is an Cannizzaro reaction. So in a Cannizzaro reaction, what happens? One molecule will be undergoing oxidation, one will be undergoing reduction. Very simple. So from one CHO, you will be getting oxidized product. From another aldehyde, you will be getting reduced product. This will be the product. If there were two molecules, you used to get two products. Within the molecule, one will be oxidized, one will be reduced. In the same way. One more example. Tell me, students. Will this undergo Cannizzaro reaction? Yes, because there are no alpha hydrogens to this aldehyde group. There are no alpha hydrogens to this aldehyde group. There are two aldehyde groups. This is one aldehyde group. This is one aldehyde group. Okay, now. So what must happen? One aldehyde group must get oxidized to alcohol. Another aldehyde group must get oxidized to salt of carboxylic acid. So let us take this one. C double bond O minus K plus. This side, this is oxidized to salt, and this will be oxidized to alcohol, CH2OH. Any doubt in this? So one must be oxidized to acid. This part. This part must be oxidized to alcohol. Tell me, students, what are the functional groups present in this compound? What functional groups are they? So this is aldehyde group. Other one is carboxylic acid. One is aldehyde group. Other one is carboxylic acid. Is carboxylic acid going to react with this NaOH? Yes, because this is an acid. This is a base. This is an acid. This is a base. So definitely this part is going to get converted into salt of the acid. What about this aldehyde? Now tell me how many moles of this compound is used for the reaction? 1 mole or 2 moles? How many moles you need for the reaction? No, how many moles you need for the reaction? 2 moles you need. 2 moles you need, because this part, one must be oxidized product, one must be reduced product. No, right? So from this you will be getting oxidized product, C double bond O minus Na plus. This is one product, and the other product must be reduced product. So O minus Na plus, and this will be reduced to alcohol, CH2. So here this part is oxidized. This part is oxidized, and this part is reduced. So you need 2 moles of this compound, definitely. Not an example of intramolecular. Just I'm asking you in the form of a question. What will be the products form? So in this way, you'll get questions based on Kenizer reaction. All the possibilities. This one once again I have to explain. Huh? Two moles of the compound I am taking in the presence of concentrated NaOH. So you are having two functional groups. One is aldehyde, other one is acid. Is this aldehyde containing alpha hydrogens? No. So whenever the aldehyde is not containing alpha hydrogens, in the presence of a concentrated alkali, it must be Kenizer reaction or not? It must be Kenizer reaction. So what must happen? One must be oxidized product, one must be reduced product. So what will be the oxidized product? Salt of the acid. No. So from this I'll write C double bond O minus Na plus. And what about this acid? Acid will react with base or not? Acid will react with base. You need to get salt, right? So the other salt will be C double bond O minus. Correct? This part is oxidized to acid. This part is oxidized to salt. That is reacted to salt. Plus other product of the aldehyde must be reduced product. This is oxidized one, reduced one. This must be reduced to alcohol, no? CH2H. This part same reaction. So this is the oxidized product. This is the reduced one. See, those who are preparing only for theory and CET, students, I am telling only the two reactions. First two I discussed, no? Formaldehyde, acetaldehyde, only that is enough. Okay. So this is for NEET or for JEE exams. These are important. For theory, only two reactions you study. In aldol condensation, first two. In Kenizer, first two in the class notes. Enough. Remaining everything is only for entrances. For CET also that will be sufficient. For NEET and JEE, students, these ones. Clear? Any doubts you are having in both the reactions, aldol and Kenizer? Okay. So these are all the chemical properties of aldehydes and ketones. So we discussed nucleophilic addition. We discussed them after nucleophilic addition. We discussed about nucleophilic addition followed by elimination. That is condensation reactions, which will be given by ammonia derivatives with aldehydes and ketones. Then we discussed oxidation reactions. Then we discussed the reduction reactions. Then we discussed the halogenation reaction. Then the last part is reactions due to acidic nature of alpha hydrogens. So 6 different types of chemical reactions of aldehydes and ketones we have discussed. There are some more reactions which are out of our syllabus, not for JEE mains also. Sometimes they ask in JEE advanced, that we'll discuss separately. Okay. So now we'll continue with the reactions of aromatic aldehydes and ketones, right? So that means electrophilic substitution reactions. Right, I'm getting electrophilic substitution reactions of electrophilic substitution reactions. Electrophilic substitution reactions of aromatic aldehydes and ketones. Now see here, students. So let me take an aldehyde or ketone on benzene. Let it be C double bond O. This may be either aldehyde or ketone. So there is an aldehyde group or ketonic group on benzene. Plus M or minus M, students? Is it a plus M group or minus M group? Minus M, very good. It is an minus M group because there is unsaturation between first atom and second atom. Whenever there is unsaturation between first atom and second atom, it will be minus M group. Okay. Minus M group will increase the electron density on benzene ring or decrease the electron density on benzene. Decrease, because it will try to pull the electron density from benzene ring. At what positions the electron density will be decreased? Ortho and para, very good. So whether it may be electron donating or electron withdrawing, only ortho and para positions are going to get affected. So at ortho position and para position, the electron density is decreased. Now the incoming electrophile will attack which position on benzene ring? Ortho and para or meta? The incoming electrophile will attack which position on benzene ring? Very good, students. Very good. It must attack meta position because electrophile is the one which is having very less electron density. Sorry, is the one which will be having less electron density. So it will be attacking the carbon atom where there is more electron density. So as this is a minus M group, it is a decreasing electron density at ortho and para position. So electrophile will preferably attack at meta position. It will preferably attack at meta position. So whenever aromatic aldehydes or ketones are undergoing electrophilic substitution reaction, incoming electrophile will be directed towards meta position. So always meta products will be formed. Always meta products will be formed. Haloarenes we discussed, where we will be getting ortho and para products. We discussed the phenols, where you will be getting ortho and para products. We discussed the ethers, where you will be getting ortho and para products. But in this case, you will be getting meta products. In this case, you will be getting meta product. So remember, write in the form of a note as C double bond O group is a deactivating group. So we will call such groups as deactivating, no? So those groups which decrease the electron density are called as deactivating, which increase the electron density are called as activating. Right? So a C double bond O group is a deactivating group. It directs the incoming electrophile. It directs the incoming electrophile towards meta position. Towards meta position. So always you will be getting meta products as the major products. So if it is chlorination, chlorine will be attacked at meta position. If it is nitration, nitro group will be attacked at meta position. If it is sulfonation, SO3H will be attacked at meta position in that. One or two examples we will write. We know that there are 5 electrophilic substitution reactions. One is halogenation, one is nitration, one is sulfonation, Frederick-Gas alkylation, Frederick-Gas acylation. In all these reactions, meta product will be formed. But in our NCERT, only one reaction is given. Only that I'll write. Okay. Okay. So one reaction given in NCERT I am writing. Even if any other comes in exam, just substitute the electroviolet metaposition. For example, if I take benzaldehyde on treatment with concentrated HNO3 plus concentrated H2SO4. So this is nitration, we know. NO2 will be the electrophile. So NO2 will be attacking at meta position. So this is benzaldehyde. This is meta-nitrobenzaldehyde. So if it is ketone, just make it as ketone. So that's way, this way the reaction takes place. One more example, if you want, you can write on reaction with chlorine plus anhydrous FeCl3. So chlorine will be attacking at meta position. So in this way, you can write all the reactions. This is metachlorobenzaldehyde. Completed. Okay. So this is about electrophilic substitution reactions of aromatic aldehydes and ketones. Then the last concept in carbonyl compounds is test for aldehydes and ketones. So how we can differentiate aldehydes and ketones? Test. Let us write aldehydes, which will be giving the test, which will not give the test. So the first test is Tollens test. Tell me, students, which will give aldehydes or ketones? Which will give Tollens test? Only aldehydes. Only aldehydes. They will give the test. Ketones will not give the test. What type of aldehydes will give? Only aliphatic or only aromatic or both? Both. Both aliphatic and aromatic aldehydes will give this test. What will be the observation, students? What will be the observation? Silver mirror. Very good. So the observation will be silver mirror. Ketones won't give this test. Second test is Fehling's test. Fehling's test. Which will give this test? So only aldehydes, ketones won't give. What is the observation you will get? Yes, red precipitate of Cu2. You'll be getting a red precipitate of Cu2. What type of aldehydes will give this test? Only aliphatic or only aromatic or both? Only aliphatic. Only aliphatic. So in bracket you can write only aliphatic. Okay na? Third one, Benedict's test. Which will be giving Benedict's test? Only aldehydes, but not ketones. Observation. Same, red precipitate of Cu2O. And what type of aldehydes? Only aliphatic. Only aliphatic. Next one is Borchers test or Brady's test. What is Borchers reagent? If you remember, while studying condensation reactions I have given 2,4-DNP, 2,4-DNP, 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine. 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine is called as Borchers reagent or Brady's reagent. Which will be giving students? Only aldehydes or ketones or both? Both. Both will be giving this test. What will be the observation? So observation will be formation of orange-red colored precipitate. Orange-red colored precipitate. Both will be giving orange-red. So that means just for identification of a carbonyl compound, we will be using this test. Just to know whether there is carbonyl compound present or not, we will be using this test. Once you confirm that there is a carbonyl compound present, then to identify whether it is aldehyde or ketone, you will be doing these two or these three, any of this. Okay. Only aliphatic or aromatic means these two. Once you will identify the presence of a carbonyl compound by this test, to confirm whether it is aldehyde or ketone, these three tests can be used. Again, to confirm whether it is aliphatic or aromatic, any of these two can be used. Okay, na? Right on. One more last one is there. Next one is fifth one. Schiff's reagent test. So Schiff's reagent test will be given only by aldehyde strength, but not by ketones. Okay. So aldehydes will restore pink color. This solution will remain colorless. See, actually, what is the Schiff's reagent? No, why it is becoming colorless is we'll take the Schiff's reagent, which will be in pink color, students. Actually, Schiff's reagent will initially be in pink color. Now I want to remove that pink color. That means decoloration has to take place. So we know that by using bleaching agents, we can decolorize. No, like, tell me one bleaching agent which decolorizes by reduction. Bleaching action is due to reduction for one of the bleaching agent. Only one bleaching agent we have in our syllabus. whose bleaching action is due to reduction. P block acid, very, very important. Almost in all the PTE exams you have written, I have given that question. SO2, very good. Sulfur dioxide is a bleaching agent whose bleaching action is due to reduction. All the other bleaching agents we have in our syllabus, their bleaching action is due to oxidation. Either you take H2SO4, or you take ozone, or you take chlorine, or you take hydrogen peroxide from first year. Any bleaching agent you take, all of them's bleaching action is due to oxidation. Only bleaching action due to reduction is sulfur dioxide. So what we'll do is, we'll pass sulfur dioxide gas through that bleaching agent, Schiff's reagent. So it will become colorless. So once it becomes colorless, again what we will be doing? We will be adding aldehyde and ketone. So if the compound what we are adding is restoring the pink color, it will be aldehyde. If it is not restoring the pink color, it is called as ketone. Okay. So this much is enough. No need to go into detail. Then through chemical reactions also, one or two chemical reactions we have that can also be used as a test. So reduction. Alcohols will give, aldehydes will give. Primary alcohols or secondary alcohols? Right. Ketones will be giving secondary alcohol. So these are the important tests to distinguish aldehydes and ketones. Yeah. Okay, so this is about carbonyl compounds, that is aldehydes and ketones. Then in tomorrow's class, we will be discussing a concept called as tautomerism. Actually, tautomerism concept is not there for your theory exam. It will be purely for entrance exam students. But it is very, very important concept. So tomorrow we'll be discussing tautomerism, which is out of our NCERT syllabus, only for entrances. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be completing aldehydes and ketones. Next class we will start carboxylic acids. Today afternoon, we are having KVPY class, the revision class. So one concept from ionic equilibrium is left, that is solubility product and thermochemistry. So these two we are going to discuss in today's class. You can log into the class with the same link which you have logged in for this class. Okay, thank you so much.